we spent a little bit of time talking about tuning. Another very important aspect of it, these motors are two-stroke engines. Okay, and all that really means is that they get about 25% of their cooling from the air. That's what these heat sinks heads are for. So as air passes over the motor, it helps to cool it. The other 75 to 80% of the cooling comes from the oil that is pre-mixed in the fuel. So all you really have to do is maintain the right percentage of fuel, the fuel has the oil in it, and air. In a nutshell, you're looking for a perfect balance of the right tuning on the motor. If you have too much oil, we call that fat. The motor's going to run really rich. It's going to sound like a diesel truck, and you're not going to get any performance out of it whatsoever. It'll spit, it is blubbery, it'll have excessive smoke, everything coming out of it. You won't get up to your full performance. If you run it too lean or not enough fuel with the oil in it going through the motor, what that'll do is it'll generate way too much heat. These motors are sand cast, and they really don't ever want to run a whole lot more than 300 to say 325 degrees. So the leaner it is, the more performance you're going to get out of it, but you will burn it up. There won't be enough oil to lubricate the parts. You'll be down at your hobby shop buying a new motor in no time at all. So the trick to it is finding the proper balance between lean, okay, and rich. How you do that is with the needles that are on it. There's a main needle, high-speed needle, which is this one. Bit of a misnomer, it's just your main needle. By turning that needle in, makes it leaner, turning it out makes it richer. So if the motor's hot, you're going to want to just turn it counterclockwise or turn it out. That gives it more oil through the motor. There's also a low-speed needle. You'll find those typically on the end of the carburetor, or the barrel as it's also known, and that's the screw right here. That adjusts the air-fuel mixture. It's kind of a fine-tuning adjustment, and that adjusts it for an idle and off-idle. So that's more of a fine-tune to get your engine just precise. Once you've set your high-speed needle to get it down, then you'll fine-tune it with that, with the low-speed needle, and then the final adjustment that you'll make on it is just to set the idle. If the idle's too low, of course, it's going to stall out every time you let off on the trigger. If it's too high, it's going to cause the engine to race unnecessarily. So that's your basics of engine tuning.